Hello, we're here today to discuss Shakespeare's famous words from Hamlet. To fidget or not to fidget, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the wrath and judgment of others that think we are rude or inattentive. Okay, that's not Shakespeare, but let's go with the idea of that, because sadly there is wrath and judgment about fidgeters these days. We find ourselves thinking that others are being rude and inattentive while they're fidgeting, and we need to look at that and decide that instead of asking the question to fidget or not to fidget, let's take the nobler question, which in my mind is it working? And fidgeting is a popular and hot topic right now. As occupational therapists, we love it when a potential self-regulation strategy goes mainstream. I don't know how many of you remember the koosh ball, but when they first came out, parents and teachers were worried and got upset at first that the kids were going to do this and this and this and this and then throw them around the room. But just like the fidget spinners now, lots of parents and teachers are worried about the fidgeting and whether that will be inattentive, and rude. So we're going to stay with that nobler question of, is it working? So when a child has a fidget and all they're doing is focusing so hard on the fidget that they haven't heard a word that was being said, then probably it isn't working. At that moment, the fidget's a toy and not a tool. But a child who has a fidget in her hand and she's focused and attentive and she can answer the questions that you have about the topic that's being discussed, then it's working and it's a tool. So let's think of this whole question, our nobler question of, is it working? And let's do it like an invitation, asking about the who, the what, the when, where, and how. So first of all, who fidgets? Well, everybody. Some of us a lot more than others. And so before we judge, let's remember that everybody does things to self-regulate, and fidgeting may be one of those things. The what? What do they fidget with? And as an adult, you might not be using a fidget spinner all day long at your work, but you may be doing things just as simple as clicking your pen or playing with a paperclip in your work meeting to stay alert and to be able to pay attention. Now here's a sample of our fidget basket for our meetings in our office, and we have to rotate our fidgets every so often because we need different things. But let's look at the when and where do we fidget. Now, here is the really tricky thing, is one size doesn't fit all. When we fidget at work, we might use different tools than we do when we fidget at home or while we're driving, and the same is true for our children, that they may use different tools in the classroom than they do at home during homework time. Now, the how we fidget. This has a lot of variables here, and we need to use fidgets as tools in a way that doesn't bother others. So as adults, we need to make sure we're not irritating or making it hard on our office mates or our classmates in school or our family members at home. So just like a child has to learn how to safely use scissors, we need to help children to learn how to use fidgets. They need our guidance so that they're able to understand when it's a toy, when it's a tool, and how we're considerate of others. So, the is it working question. When a child appears to be so focused on their fidget, then go ahead and ask them the question. And if they can answer you, like we talked about before, praise them and tell them what you can see and observe. Say, good for you. That fidget in your hand is a tool right now and it's working to help you and I can tell. And if they can't answer a question, we can say something like, gee, it looks like it's getting hard for you to pay attention, and that fidget looks like a toy right now, which sure isn't bad if you're at recess or playtime to have toys, but for right now, let's find you a tool. Now, the good news is that if it's not working, and in the fidget tools here, we have tons of resources here at the Alert program that teach you how to look at the 5 different ways to change how alert we feel. That will support our alertness, our attentiveness, our ability to focus. And those 5 ways are the mouth category, the move category, touch category, look category, and listen category. And as you might have already guessed, fidgeting is in the touch category. So if that's not working, there's plenty of other suggestions. Simple things like in the mouth category, you may just want to sip yogurt through a straw. In the move category, you may just want to get up and walk up and down a flight of stairs. In the look category, you might want to use something like this kind of a visual tool. And many of you have these kinds of things in your offices around to be able to play, and many of you have them in your classrooms, and good for you. In the listen category, things like using music to pump you up or calm you down. You know your tunes. And you know how those tunes affect you. So I'm just saying, I think we need to move past the question to fidget or not to fidget, and remember that fidgeting is just one tool, and that there are tons of ways to help keep ourselves alert, attentive, and focused. And that's what self-regulation is really all about. So we've tried to do a lot of the work for you already about helping to make self-regulation easy. You can learn more at our website, alertprogram.com, where we have lots of free and for-purchase resources for you. And our online course really delves in deeply to find practical tips and solutions to the challenges that you're finding in your home or your therapy clinic or your classroom. So I'd like to leave you with a chorus from a rap song that I wrote called Fidget and Fool. And it's not Shakespeare, but it sure is fun for adults and kids to sing along or hum along while they learn. So here we go. As fidgeting fools, we got lots to teach. To some adults, this idea is out of reach. We'll try to help them understand the power of the brain when you got something in your hand. The power